Thank you so much for asking. I really appreciate it when people are curious about this kind of stuff, so let's dive into it. Now, the first and one of the biggest parts of this conversation is just inefficiency of calories. You got to think about how long it takes to raise an animal to get to the size that it needs to be considered food, as well as the resources that takes. And it really kind of drives it home when you realize that up to 70% of all of the grain that's grown in the US is actually used for livestock feed. So even in an ideal world where you're buying all of your animal products locally, those animals were still raised from grain that was not local. And let's also talk about the grass-fed elephant in the room. Now let's say you live in the ideal world where you are able to eat nothing but local grass-fed beef. You never eat at a restaurant, you never go through a drive-through window, everything is local grass-fed. Well, then you got to deal with the methane production because cows will produce 150 billion gallons of methane per day, and it doesn't matter if they're eating grass or grain. And the reason why that's not so good is methane has a global warming potential 86 times that of CO2. And then you also have land use because livestock covers 45% of the Earth's total land. That's insane. And ultimately, the consumption of grass-fed beef will lead to higher demand. And where there is demand, there will always be a capitalist system that will rise to meet that demand, even if it means importing that beef from Brazil. Yep, that's right. Imported Brazilian beef is up by 65%. And Brazilian beef farmers are the ones that are responsible for cutting down and burning the Amazon rainforest in order to create grazing space for grass-fed cattle.